The tempo.
Look, used to be four, wine and port. Pull up when you in the shooter before. Switching the gun, chasing the clip. One flash, nigga, soda and clip. Ray bands got me dark for the night. Cold hard, I want gin and Sprite. Bad bitch playing duck, poetic. Just give us some good slight.
I think that's one of the perfect beginnings to another episode of the Tempo Show. We got these young brothers in here today, as I always do. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Man, you guys already know it's Humpway, Bumpway. We're gonna introduce ourselves from left to right. It's Jabbar E, because I got bars. That's it. That's all you need to know.
You know, gang, man, it's Black Ice, man. I used to these Black Ice never slipping.
Slid.
But don't forget, I might just slip in your hoe, though.
You already know what we came here to do. It's smooth, you know, poetic, whatever.
Yeah, gang.
Gang shit. So much
of gang.
Way,
You
hear
know
me?
what I'm saying? It's the whole motherfucker.
We here with Tempo.
Oh yeah. I want to appreciate these
Another
brothers.
big bro, Tempo. For fucking with us.
Giving a young nigga hope out in these streets, man.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give a little bit of background to how I met these young brothers. So you know, damn, was it last? Nah, damn, that was 2 days ago. God, time be. Anyway, so you know, a couple days ago, I did a kind of like a little showcase podcast joint down Dynamic Lounge, and you know, we had about, god damn, it was probably like about 15 different artists, you know, clothing line representatives, entrepreneurs, and people that came through. And you know, my whole purpose of it, you know, just kind of on a selfish level, you know what I'm saying? I was like, well, out of these people, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna find who's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, who I want to bring on my show, you know what I'm saying? Because I figured that there was gonna be some solid talent, and you know, when it first started out, you know what I'm saying, it was pretty rough. You know, everybody's doing their thing, so I'm not gonna shit on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate people out here trying to hustle and shit. You know, but you know, as I was going through the interviews, it was pretty clear that you know, people haven't really thought about, you know, whatever it is they trying to do. Like a lot of times people be like, oh, you know, I rap, you know what I'm saying, I do this, I do that, or I'm selling clothes, or I'm selling makeup or whatever, and you know, I'll get into some deep introspective conversation about it, and then they really can't explain themselves. So these brothers right here is really one of the only ones, and then another good dude I'm gonna bring through, but these brothers right here, as soon as they came through with a lot of energy, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't extra, you know what I'm saying, but I could look at them in their eyes and I seen that they were very hungry. And you know, they talked a little bit about their origins, and it kind of touched me a little bit. So kind of tell the show, how did y'all come to know each other?
Well, we all came to know each other through foster care.
Yeah.
So to give a little bit of a background, Black Ice and Poetic, they may have stayed together.
Yeah.
Because they got into foster care probably a little bit before I did. So they had stayed together about a long time, like I said. Almost 2 years. And you know, it's funny, they probably never really worked on music together
like,
in
we
those
didn't
2
do
years.
no music. All we did was turn up and fuck and get money.
And build family. and build a family.
Fuck bitches and get money.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? I had wound up living with Black Ice, probably like two years ago as well, right? Probably 2-3 years ago. And, you know, we wasn't really rapping either. We just smoking weed and
Smoking weed, getting money, fucking bitches.
fucking bitches.
You know.
No, but we
First,
just chilling.
How old are you guys? Just so the people know.
I mean, big shout out. I'll be 20 October 4th next week.
Come turn up for my man
Sometime
B-Day.
come fuck with me. You know
Fuck
what
with
I'm
my
saying?
mans.
I'll be 20 on October. Oh, shit.
Motherfucker, I'm 21, you know.
22.
21.
Yeah, man.
22, man. Summer night, Sagittarius, shout out to all the
Yeah,
Sagittarius
okay.
out there. You know what I'm saying?
See, so these, man, like, you know, these brothers are young, you know what I'm saying? And they, one thing that I really appreciated was, you know, for me growing up, I just turned 31. You know, my birthday was on Wednesday and stuff.
Happy
and
belated, bro.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And I think as you, you know, as a man, as you start growing up, you start to see that I had a lot of associates. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't necessarily call them friends, although back in the day I would call them friends. You know what I'm saying? So it was like as you get older, you start to see that, you know, everybody that says that they, you know, fuck with you or they all about you, they really not about that. You know what I'm saying? And the people that you end up, you know, really building a connection with is the people that you kind of went through the trials and tribulations with. Okay. So, you know, it's really rough out here, and, you know, to go through the foster care system and, you know, for y'all to still be striving and working on your music, you know what I'm saying? And you know, these dudes, they talking about getting money and fucking bitches and all of that, but these guys, like, they have a real positive vibe, you know what I'm saying? And that's what drew me to them off the break, you know what I'm saying? That's what really drew me to them as far as their commitment. It seemed like their commitment to each other, you know what I mean? It really felt authentic, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that type of bond really only develops going through some tribulations and things of that nature. So what were some of the roughest things that y'all had to deal with together kind of growing up? Keep it a buck.
Or you want, I mean,
I
can speak on together.
You don't have to say no names, but
I mean, I can say together for sure. We ain't gonna get into too many details, but my situation in itself, I've been really moving around a lot. You feel me? I don't age out of foster care till I'm 21, so I'm still bouncing around. The older you get, the less people seem to have, you know what I'm saying, a patience with you. If they not getting a certain type of money, then they don't really have nothing to do with you. So, you know what I'm saying, I kind of been put out from everybody, from foster family to real family to adopted family. But I can say I went to go stay with my brother, Poetic, you feel me, and he really held me down. You know what I'm saying? I was really down. So you want to talk about some hard things we've been through. It's been some times where, like, we may not have had enough to eat. Facts, you know what I'm saying? We're just keeping it a stack. We may not have had enough to eat, but all three of us gonna get something in our stomach by the end of the night, regardless of what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
and kind of working together. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of working together, like
it's like
everybody got to
eat.
7-Eleven and just
split something. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like LA said, one more buck on my plate. Me and bro, we was in the stove. Both of us got 50-cent cakes. Like, if that's how it went down,
Everything
that's how it
was
went
on
down.
the man.
Or it's on the man, you know what I'm saying? Or it's on the man. But like recently, like we was all together and everything kind of. We just took a big like setback, but minor setback for a major comeback. And I can say we all back on the come up.
And
pull that, my man right here. Pull the mic together. You know what I'm saying? Put it little. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me clearly.
That's perfect.
Testing.
Zoom.
And I want to get everybody names together so that everybody knows. This is
Bar-E, but y'all can just call me Barry for sure.
There we go. We got Barry.
Black Ice, you know.
Black Ice.
Ice in the streets, Black Ice never slipping, you know what I'm saying?
Poetic with an X. Smooth.
Poetic. Smooth. I got you, man. That's real smooth, and you can see, like, you know, a lot of times people don't really realize how strong they are until they have to go through some of the toughest things.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it doesn't necessarily have to be extreme as, you know, you going to foster care or, you know, you growing up and you know, family on drugs, or, you know, I know a lot of dudes that real life have went through it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they are fully justified in almost feeling the way that they feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll have an attitude, like, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, they been robbed and nobody ever look out for them, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be 22, parents ain't never take them to the dentist because they won't like, so they teeth fucked up, you know what I'm saying? And it's a real struggle, and, you know, they tend to lash out against life, you know what I mean? Like they just be like, fuck everything, you know what I'm saying? And I noticed that was really different with y'all, and that's why, you know, I brought y'all on the show, because, like, you know, as y'all progress, and I really do believe that y'all are gonna do bigger things. So, you know what I'm saying, when y'all are on stage rocking that shit down Atlanta and fucking get off, y'all make sure y'all shout out Tempo Pod TV. I'm coming smack to the hotel room, boxing all y'all. You know what I'm
saying? You gonna be in the room, and we gonna be living life.
You already know. Some hoes.
You already know, man.
The boxer, go box.
Just to beat the box. What you was saying, this was a family before I could say it was a group. And even though, like I said, we all wasn't doing music when we all came around together, like, I may have met Poetic, and the first thing we did start vibing out was music. But that's because we already knew. That was just the vibe. That was just how it happened. You know what I'm saying? Music happened. freestyling whole songs coming to fruition. So it's like
on every day though.
Every day it was
it's not like we trying to make songs just to make it. We do it because we was just doing it for the fun.
We just doing it. We just.
Hey, look, and you know that's why I told Monte to roll the camera. Oh my bad, A1 cameraman. I told A1 cameraman to roll the camera.
A1,
because these dudes were sitting up there, motherfucking like this, like they actually got talent. You know what I'm saying? Like they were sitting up here creating songs just like here fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Freestyling and shit. So like, you know, you can tell talent when you see it. You know what I'm saying? So that's
I appreciate it.
Y'all definitely gonna get it in when it comes to that. How long have y'all been rapping together?
A
year, like you said, you know, September 13th, right, bro?
Yeah, that was the start.
That was September 13th last year is when we all realized, was like, you know, let's do something. Like, we got something in the making. It's 3 different sounds, and like it's a hump. You feel me? It's literally a hump. The wave that we carry through when you listen to our music, you're gonna get different sounds.
Yeah, you can't deny it, bro. It's the will, bro.
It's the will.
It's the will.
It's really
Okay.
You in the sea.
Musical apex predators.
You could be a shop. We still the will, motherfucker. You gonna move out the way.
I think they told me that on the interview. What was it? Tell me how that joint went again. It was tell me about the whale.
So,
break it down for him, bro.
All right, so look, you got the whale and the sea, bro.
Biggest thing,
Humpway
in the motherfucking ocean.
Humpback whale. I'm just trying to get hump in your head. Don't be afraid to say hump. I don't
look at you.
What the fuck? Like niggas don't want to say
like
hump.
Niggas don't want to say hump. Like y'all don't be
you
humping
say
or nothing.
Way, bump way,
Niggas got with everything.
Niggas got niggas got niggas just
too manly to say a word.
Too manly to say hump. You don't hump. You don't hump. You don't gotta say the word hump.
Right, man. But hump way. But look, right back to it though. You got the whale in the sea, bro. Biggest thing in the sea. Ain't nobody eating the whale, bro.
Facts.
Kill.
Apex predator. When it's time for them to mate, they making beautiful
music. Orchestra.
From across the sea, you can hear that jump. Like if you ever really noticed, if you ever heard the whale, I don't know if much of you heard the whale. You gonna hear that
the whale
from deep under the water. You hear me? So there you go.
Nah, that's
Apex Predators.
That's and look,
Apex Predators.
That was one of the biggest things when I started this when I was doing the showcase, you know, when I was doing the showcase the other day at Dynamic, you know, I figured I was like, all right, so you know, you see in the flyer, you knew that, you know, you was gonna have a potential to be interviewed, and many of the people weren't prepared at all. You know what I'm saying? And these dudes, they had their old line already readied out. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't stuttering with the shit. They was ready to get it in. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. So, but what that tells you is that like how serious they are about it. You know what I'm saying? Like they saw it as an opportunity. How did you even find out about the?
We didn't even know.
To be honest, we didn't know until you popped through.
When you popped up, when you popped through, the video, man, I was like, bro, oh man, I gotta talk to that nigga, bro. And that's why I went back and hollered at him.
And my man A1.
I was like, all right, I got to get his Instagram. I was like, before you leave, can I talk to you before you leave the show? I was like, bet. That's how I was like, because at the end of the day, like when I come in there, I don't like music is fine, but I be trying to like network and shit. Like
that is an important part, like
crucial part
in this age of social media and technology and things of that nature. Like networking is so key to anything that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And what I thought that was real professional of them is that, you know what I'm saying, like they came through, they wasn't OC aggressive, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, a lot of times dudes, even myself, one of the things that I had to get over when I first started this was, you know, I don't know too many people, you know, not too many known niggas, not when I first started at least, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really know too many known people, so you gonna have to be able to, you know, you ain't dick riding, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to extend your hand, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, be able to ask for them opportunities. You could say, like, they talk about, you know, DJ Khaled and shit like that. DJ Khaled, whenever everybody talks to him, they like, DJ Khaled don't give a fuck. He will ask you for a favor off the buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's dead serious, and he's not afraid to real life extend, you know what I'm saying, to ask for help and in turn, you know what I'm saying, be able to provide something for them as well. You know, so that's definitely important. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all definitely got that joint down pack and shit. So
big shout out to my man Poetic, you feel me, for coming up with that whole acronym.
So what, y'all was just going to the club just to cool it?
Man, we really showed up, like we said. Like we've been at a couple of keys to the city.
Mm-hmm.
We performed a little bit.
Shout out to Keys to the City. Shout out to Elway.
Shout out Sleep.
Shout out to Elway.
Shout out.
And so we popped through. You know, just popped through, and you know, just to see and get some knowledge. People are dropping dimes. So, like I said, when I'm saying shout out to my man, it's just like we already know. Even if it wasn't an interview, you feel me? If we tell somebody on the streets, yeah, our name Humpway, well, what that mean? Because 9 times out of 10, people think Humpway. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah, these niggas always humping or something. Funny shit like that. You feel me?
We are.
But don't get that wrong. But it's
to
deeper to it. It's deeper than that.
Nah, that's
deeper than rap.
Splish splash.
Deeper than rap, baby.
Nah, that's real, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's like on a lot of these I don't typically have rappers on my podcast. Like I had King Hasty on that joint, and I think that was it. Yeah, so I don't typically have rappers because they typically say the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's a movement. We doing this, we doing that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my mixtape. And then, like, even with, like, a lot of the, you know, I be feeling bad sometimes because I ask deep questions of what they don't even, like, think, like, questions about your craft that you don't even have any answer for. You're just telling me the same thing over and over and over. So, like, I felt like it could be kind of difficult to have rappers on, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be able, especially with a podcast, you got to be able to talk and be able to have these type of conversations, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I thought, like, you know what I'm saying, y'all dudes really had it going down and shit.
We're artists.
So, right, there you go.
I'm an artist.
I'm an artist, baby.
I'm not a rapper, baby.
There you go. So when did y'all realize that getting in the rap game wasn't going to be as easy as you might have anticipated?
Shit, as soon as we started.
Like all the fuck shit we was going through.
It's like
fuck shit like what? Like
as soon as we started performing. I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, shoot. Let them know, bro.
I ain't gonna hold you. The first couple of performances, fuck that. The
Fuck
first
that.
performance was
of
like
time.
was like, is you gonna do this or not? You know, we was at PG
Community
that was
College.
our first performance for this little modeling jump. Shout out,
Shout out,
she got us in
Enemy.
that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So what happened with it?
We was hyping ourselves up,
man.
We
We
the whole
looking
day,
sweet
telling
the
everybody,
whole
you know,
day,
come
like,
see us. We about to perform,
it's
be
the
all
hump.
in the cafeteria, all that. Everybody, you know, they be cooling.
Look, bro.
Just for us to get up
Introduced as what, y'all?
You know what these motherfuckers going to introduce us
No offense,
as?
Ray Guap, but they introduced us as
Ray
Rachel.
and the boys. Who the fuck is the boys?
Right, we the Humpway. I don't know who the
Humpway.
hell the boys are. We men, first of all.
Exactly, like,
First
this ain't boys to man.
Like,
Fuck, right, this ain't this ain't the Temptations.
Fuck this
that was
Humpway.
that
Humpway.
bullshit.
And the
But
pimps.
and then what was most challenging for me, because that was my very first time performing,
Yeah.
and this in front of a nice crowd, and I had to do my.
They was turned too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I had to bring it in. Like, that shit.
What
for
happened
me,
with that? Like, all right,
vibe
so
was
you
some
had to
shit.
promote, like, not to cut you off. Like, you had, like, y'all told them what your name was, and then they just came up with some whole other shit out the box?
Man, pretty
Hey, look.
much. To come down to the scheme, I guess they was going off. It's funny.
It's
man,
going off
'cause
the list, even
they
though
was
the
going off
person,
list, even
the
though the
host,
person that was hosting was with us cooling in the cafeteria earlier.
shit.
be
saying
explaining her
Humpway.
everything.
Well, she acted like she was all diggity down, but then she wasn't down. So then she raced us as Ray and the boys. So
I mean,
Who is Ray?
Ray is a friend of ours.
He's a friend of ours.
OGG.
Oh,
OGG.
gang.
Her name, Rachel. Fuck it. She cool as shit though on the low, but that was just butch. All in all, butch. You feel me? But we still rocked out.
We
That
rocked
was a
out
big
at the end of
challenge.
the day, bro.
Finding
It's
out
like-
that like people may not, like I said, people like our sound isn't like a traditional sound. So when you listen to us, you're not gonna get that traditional trap sound that you may be looking for coming out of our area. And shout out, man, I fuck with trap music. Don't get me wrong, that
Right.
shit crank. You feel me?
But we ain't trying to sound the
We
same.
ain't trying to
That's
sound
not
like we
the image
hating or
we trying
nothing,
to
but we just not
portray.
trying to sound the same, and we trying to start a new wave around the city. And it's like we all don't gotta sound the same to make it out. You feel me? The
Right.
people that's been making it out been sounding different.
Okay.
Blizzy,
That's a fact.
Nasty, Trail, Young Jordan,
Shout out,
Wale. Like
shout
all
out to
the
my
people
man Black Fortune.
Shout out
He
to my
doing
man
his
Black
damn
Fortune.
thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
From
man.
Parkdale, he's sounding different and he doing his moves. So Like, we just trying to sound different. So what we found out early is a lot of people got to catch our wave. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to make people ears transform to our sound because it's not a sound that they used to. People can't deny that it's great,
outside,
but it's different. And when it's different, and you know what I'm saying, when stuff is different, it takes a little bit of time to catch fire. But when you do, it's an inferno. You feel me?
No, that's
everywhere
real.
we go, like they say, you know, we bring the energy because we always put ourselves on the line. We don't just come in and just to, you know, have fun with you, make music. You know, we came to turn you up, like turn up, nigga. If
you already know what we came here to do.
We gonna turn the fuck up. You know, we gonna have some fun. You know, you're gonna listen to some good music. You ain't gonna be feeling like your money was wasted. Right. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we gonna interact with you. And if you wanna go party after the show,
we gonna party.
We gonna party too. What's up? Like, but at the end of the day, I'm an artist. I ain't with the fuck shit.
No, that's. I mean, I think that's important because like nowadays you can't just be an artist, make your music, and that's it. Not unless you already have a crazy following. You know what I'm saying? Like people now that social media is out here, people don't just want to see you rap. You know what I'm saying? People want to see what you're doing in your spare time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People want to see, and especially because y'all are a group, people want to see how cohesive y'all are as a unit. You know what I'm saying? Like when people feel like y'all real friends, that's when people fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real relatable. Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, people always wish, like, I think every young dude that loves some type of music, you wish that you and your best friend and your other friend could just rap and all come up together and we get the parlay and so.
Get that bag together.
Right. And, you know, one thing I could say is that, you know, and I keep probably going back to it, but just that I love the positive vibe that y'all got because, like, it's like to come from the circumstances that you came through, you could have went about it a whole different way. You know what I'm saying? You could have went about it a whole different way, and a lot of people do go about it a whole different way. You know what I'm saying? And to really be focused on your craft. You know what I'm saying? To be focused on each other. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like those are the real keys to success. You know what I'm saying? So, like, man, y'all, that shit. Man, it's gonna come together and shit. I just think personally. So,
that, bro.
All right. So that was you know what I'm saying. All right. So I heard about the Wild show where they introduced y'all to some big wild bullshit. Was there anything that ever happened on stage that like, cause you know you gotta kind of have you like when you first start rapping, you can put whatever you want to do to the booth, but once you gotta learn how to perform for the crowd together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right. So like so like what was some of y'all? Let's say when you first kind of started performing in front of people and shit, like, what was like some of the difficulties that happened in the mix of performing?
I got in the crowd. Like once that beat dropped, I had smack in the crowds. I seen Slow Shot. She was twerking to the music and shit. I got right smack behind her. As soon as she started twerking, I got behind her. She was fucking with this shit. Next thing you know, I left. I seen some other people that was bumping to the music, and I went over there to them, jumped in the crowd with them too. You know, I just got interactive once. At the end of the day, once they fucked up our name, but once that motherfucking beat dropped and we started fucking with the people, that was like, these niggas crank. We actually had that motherfucker.
Make sure you keep that mic like right here. You know what I'm saying? So I can get a clear sound,
bro. We're not rapping.
Yeah, you got it.
My bad. I ain't
not performing right now.
I'll be on go time.
I already know.
But yeah, like once we got the people interacting with the music, and we would just. Like, we put ourselves on the line as far as our energy-wise, like, personally, like, we up in your face with the energy.
If it's 2 or 200.
Yeah, so it's like, they fuck with this shit. So it was just like, all right, bet. By the end of the night, we left an impression on everybody's face, and they just fuck with it.
And the answer, like, the second part of your question. Because it's two sides to that question.
The biggest challenge.
Like, the challenge, it was the choreography, bro. Like, knowing where one should be while somebody's performing. Making sure we controlling our hypeness. You feel me? All that.
Cause we all pretty hype when we get to rapping. Yeah, I can say, you know, not to throw my man, but my man Black Ice right here. We always say he's the energy. You feel me? Like y'all look at us. We all have energy, but my man raises you up a certain level above. That's just what he do. That's just how he do it. You feel me? So when my man performing, I can say at the beginning of it all, like you said, he in the crowd. Like that was just a natural instinct for my man. Like I don't care if y'all rocking with me or not, but you gonna see me rapping in your face regardless. So his thing is, He be moving, woo. It's Black Ice working all night to the seasons. Not built for the season, but he be too hype. He might bump you. You feel me? Right. Because my man just lit. Right.
Yeah.
So I guess that was our biggest issue. Just worrying about like, it's 3 people, it's a group, so how to work each other's space.
Yeah.
All space is different.
Yeah.
So what we found out is just like, we pretty much came up with a good system of how to like incorporate each other and slice each other enough.
Exactly.
Perform to the crowd, but
That's good. Right. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, you're still a performance. It's still a performance at its core. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of times, you know, it's even with single rap. Like I used to rap back in the day a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't on y'all level, but you know what I'm saying? When I used to do little performances and shit, like luckily my cousin used to tell me, like, you know, you can't just stand in the middle of just the middle of the joint and say that shit like it's a poem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, especially if you have a surrounding crowd, you know what I'm saying? You gotta move over here, rap to these. You know what I'm saying? You have to move around. You know what I'm saying? And especially for y'all doing y'all gotta almost do like a little basketball joint. You know when you coming down, joint, you got pass the ball, cuz come around the front, you come around the backside.
3-man weave.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it's called. That's okay. You basically got a 3-man weave.
Really, when you say that, it's funny. I think we really have 3-man weave upon the time with the mic though, bro. Like one mic, 3 men.
Oh y'all. That's even more difficult.
You gotta make sure it's smooth.
Coming out to these events, sometimes it don't be 3 mics, it might be 2. But like
the one mic taught us a lot.
The one mic taught us a lot. And I think that was our biggest point. We was like, man, we need to learn how to switch mics. Because everybody don't got 3 mics. You feel me? So we need to learn how to switch mics, when we're gonna switch it, and how to catch everybody's breath, because we be so hyped. Like my man verse right here, he get me so hyped that I might be rapping their whole verse and forget I gotta still rap. You feel me? So it's like, we really came up with a beautiful system.
I mean, and that's how and for people who just don't know, like I think that's a good education for you, that you know, as you really start to do this, there's a lot of small details that you ain't even thinking about when you first started that are incredibly important to, you know, into making sure that your product that you're putting out there is as best as it could be. I went through some of the same difficulties when I first started the podcast, like, because I had to kind of develop, like, sometimes you'll have people that don't really have sometimes you'll have people that don't really have as much flow with the conversation. Right. So I had to be able to pick that up. You know what I'm saying? I got to be able to pick that up and come with another question when it comes on top of that. But at the same time, I have to like watch out for interrupting people. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'll have it where, and you know, I'm not perfect at it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get better. But I'll have it to where, like, I be feeling like I don't want no dead time on the camera where we just like I don't want none of that. So I might, like, if I feel like you just you bullshitting with your comment, I might jump over topic. All right, so we gonna talk about la da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? But so you start to really understand, like, it's easy to kind of have you know, and I ain't even gonna say it's easy. You just kind of understand it, like, you know, when you have conversations with people, you know, it's you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about how it looks to people around you. But as you get on camera, as you start to do where people are just listening to what you say, like, you have to be cognizant of all of that. You know what I'm saying? And that
if you like, I see it like, if you was a fan point of view watching, it's like you don't just want to sit there like you watching the news, like
watch a nigga rap.
What the fuck are you watching?
It's just not cool.
Like, you want to feel engaged, because me, I ain't gonna hold you. I've been a fan. Like, I'm a fan, so
I'm still a fan.
I'm still a fan.
Right.
But when I do music, I understand it from a viewer point of view. So I put myself on the line to make you feel like you a part of the shit, because you really are a part of the shit if you fuck with the Humpway Bumpway, you know what I'm saying? Gang shit.
Nah, that's real. You know, and that attachment to your fans and that appreciation to your fans is something that people resonate with. And sometimes niggas forget that. Like, don't get me wrong, feel confident about what it is that you're doing. Right. Although, be realistic about it, because I have a couple friends, you know what I'm saying? And I've been wanting to throw his ass out there on the joint, because I just want him to understand that you can't rap. You know what I'm saying? And it's trash, and you should do something else. You know what I'm saying?
Don't quit your day job.
But he has all the confidence that you would need, like,
to be a rap. But he doesn't have.
He has all the
confidence, no bars.
If he had the talent, then I was like, yo, you be out there. But like, back to the original point is that, you know, people want to feel like you know, people need to have that type of to feel like that, you know, you're a friend to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we're cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to like you can't make people feel like you're above them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not where rap came from. Rap didn't come from.
Rap came from connecting with people.
Exactly. And those are the people that end up being the most successful. You know what I'm saying? Are people that, you know, you can even talk about like even in almost any genre. Like you could talk about Tiffany Haddish. You could talk about you know, people like Tiffany Haddish, Cardi B. I put them out there as some of the biggest examples because number one, people fuck with Cardi B. Like people wanted her to be good off the top.
Bucks.
You know what I'm saying? Because they fuck with the person that she was, not because she was perfect,
but she was real.
But exactly because she was authentic, and you could tell that she wasn't pump faking for anybody.
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? And Tiffany Haddish is the same way. Like even as a comedian, you know what I'm saying? She you know, she tells you, you know, she grew up in the foster care system as well. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out.
For her to even have that's what I kind of see in y'all in the same way, because for her to have the attitude that, you know, I'm just gonna work hard and I'm gonna be great and I'm not going to deal with the negativity that comes along that everybody's gonna try to spit at you. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't going back and forth with you bitches. Let my backslide.
Bullshit.
That's a fact. Shout out to Lil Duval, man. That man be posting up a video every day talking. Got the #1 single, cuz it's 41 years old. Yeah,
And living his best life.
He's hilarious. I be going to his shows though. That motherfucker. You talk about authenticity. Like what you see on the Instagram, when you get the show, you get that shit times 2. Y'all definitely got to go check that nigga out when you can, because that should be hilarious, boy. That should be absolutely hilarious and shit. So as far as what are kind of y'all next steps? Like, all right, so you know, are y'all kind of focused on getting y'all buzz up in the DMV area?
We focus. Don't get me wrong. We focus on getting our buzz up in the DMV, but our main focus is expanding, like. Everywhere.
That should always be the goal.
Kind of thinking about it reverse. Like, you know how people may think, like, yeah, all right, well, we're going to be the hottest thing in our area first, and then we're going to buzz out next. You feel me? Like I said, with our sound being a little different, we find out that a lot of our fans, like, you may get, and like this for any artist to know, you may get a certain amount of plays, and I guarantee you, if you really study your plays, shout out to my man Elway, like he was saying, your plays won't be from your area. You feel me?
That's the truth.
It'd be a lot of people from out of state. Like I said, we went out UMD. We met some people from California, from other states, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? We Colorado. Like we've been, and we find out they kind of connect to it just a little more harder than. Because there's a different sound, you feel me? And
right, exactly.
What they used to,
and that's what rappers kind of fall into the trap, because like, all right, so you can go ahead and try to bite off of what everybody else do, you know what I'm saying? And people are gonna, like, you know, if you're halfway decent, then you know what I'm saying, when you hit them with the da 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 da, you know what I'm saying, the triple cadence that basically Migos kind of coined, but you know what I'm saying, like. If you do that, you could probably have some initial buzz, but you've put a ceiling on yourself as an artist, right? So whereas I think it's like kind of akin to starting your own like type of label, starting your own shit and doing it independently, right? Because if you're doing it independently, the road to the top is a lot harder and it's a lot longer, but once you get there, your ceiling is higher now. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you just kind of doing whatever everybody else do, why would I listen? Why would I like? And that's the biggest thing. I listen to old school rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I like Block Boy JB, and I like a lot of these other. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of some of the new rappers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really listen to rap like that. So for me to listen to your sound, and if you sound like everybody, if you sound like the Migos, then why would I listen to you when I can listen to the Migos? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't even do it as good as they do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They did it. They started it. So, you know, it's so that's why I say, like, you know, people should be focused on the ceiling, and everybody's so worried about getting money. You know, fair enough. People need money to survive.
The bigger picture, though.
Right, exactly. The bigger picture is like, what are you really trying to do? Like, are you really trying to be authentic? Are you just in it and that's another thing. Are you just in it for the money?
Are you in it for the passion?
Exactly.
Man, we try to change lives.
And that's why I resonated with
trying to make you feel the music,
passionate.
I think so. Money.
because we ain't even really talk about money until recently. Yeah. And it's been a whole year since we've been doing music.
We ain't even start.
You know what I'm saying?
Like we
really just been talking about
bro.
like
we was all broke as shit in foster care. Like we wasn't focused on that. Our main objective was just surviving through the next day and making sure we good or having some in our pocket so we can eat.
So you can eat.
But at the end of the day, we not focused on money. But when the money come, don't get me wrong, it's gonna come.
Everybody focused on money. We ain't gonna lie and say we not focused on money.
I mean, because but it's a balance. You know what I'm saying?
We love music.
It's the primary goal.
We love music.
Exactly.
Being an artist, we love making music.
That's
I love the energy with the fans.
And, you know,
that's what I do.
I'm very interested in psychology, and one of the biggest things they talk about is that, you know, you don't really know what you want just by kind of looking at what everybody else has. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The way that you realize what it is that, like, let's say what your passion is and things that you really want in life is when you sacrifice big things in your life in order to achieve that. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like with the podcast shit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I used to not talk about it, but I don't even give a fuck at this point. Like I drive buses for Metro and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I can provide for myself. You know what I'm saying? Fine. You know what I'm saying? If I just want to fuck around and, you know, just fuck with bitches all day and spend money and drink, I could do that. Like I could do that. You know what I'm saying? But that, as I was doing it, and I was doing that, you know what I'm saying? But I started noticing, I say at the beginning of this year, that's why I say 2018 was my best year ever, was just because, like, man, I realized earlier in the year that I was just like, man, I can't keep doing this. Like, the shit that I'm doing isn't truly making me happy. You know what I'm saying? That instant gratification is nice, but it's not truly making me happy. So I was like, well, what it is that I want to do, and it took me a while. Like I was sitting up there, like really up in here, like, you know, I'm driving on the bus all day, so I have a lot of time to think. You know what I'm saying? And so in the midst of that, as you're kind of opening yourself, and you got to be honest with yourself about what it is that you really like. Cause I'm like, man, like, you know, what do I want to do? Like, do I want to save my bread and buy a Corvette? And he'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, all right, Tim, do you really want to do that? All right, because what are you doing that for? All right, okay, because when I drive down the block, you know what I'm saying?
Sweet.
Yeah, exactly, you know what I'm saying? But then what I really want is just to be flashy for bitches. You know what I'm saying? Or for women, sorry. But you know what I'm saying? Be flashy. And that isn't my true goal. So as I'm driving on the bus and doing all that shit, like, you know, I would have conversations with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to young dudes and all, like, especially, like, I don't care if you pay or not. Like, come on. Like, Metro don't care if you pay for real. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and we have, like, these other dudes that are, like, bus drivers that real live be on meets, you know what I'm saying? Because, and I don't even think it's necessarily because they have a problem with the youth or the people that don't pay, although that shit is irritating the way some people do it. But it's really about you know, you're miserable in a sense, because having to work 10 hours a day, even if you got, like, and some dudes work 16 so they can bring home the 150K, you know what I'm saying? Some dudes do that, you know what I'm saying? But you working 16 hours a day, you know what I'm saying? You working endless, you working 80 plus hours, 90, 100 hours a week. So the only time you even get to spend your money, you know, you sleeping half the other time, if you getting sleep. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they just be irritated as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's they just be mad as shit. And so, you know, I would have conversations with people and like it was just like people, like I had young dudes. The biggest one was I was doing the buses out Greenbelt, and you know, me and this dude was having a conversation just about different things in politics and some of the social things that were going on. And, you know, I was real big on, like, I'm real big on, like, taking personal responsibility for your life. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know that it's stacked up against black men more than anything else. And Black Lives Matter, all them niggas forgot that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they use us, right? They use us because, like, when we get, like, we're kind of easy tools to be used. Like, you know, we die, you know what I'm saying? We die by crazy means, so then you could put us on the news, and then you could be like, oh, I'm fighting for this, fighting for that. Then next thing you know, like, especially with Black Lives, it started because black men were dying, you know what I'm saying? Like, unjustly, right? And now you go on the Black Lives website, and all of a sudden it's all about gay rights and transgender rights and all, you know, and shout, you know, everybody deserves to be treated equally, but
to be happy.
But, like, that's when you started seeing kind of the corruption into the shit. And so whatever. Like I know I'll be bouncing around, but so whatever. I was talking to the dude, and we was going back and forth, and then it was like a couple dudes that was just over there. And we were just all wrapping it up and shit. They was like, man, you should do something with this. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, like, you know, that shit really hit me. And so I was like, damn, do I really want to do this? I was like, yo, I could real life do this. That's when I knew I wanted to do it, because I was like, I could real life do this and not make no money for my entire life. You know what I'm saying? But putting out that content and having these conversations with people like y'all, with people, other dudes that I've had on the show, that right there, I'll be able to look back at that 20 years from now and be like, yo, like that's meaningful. So if music is that to you, which for me it's not, I don't think most people, music isn't really that. Like they just see it as just like drug dealing. They see it as a way to get a decent amount of money. You know what I'm saying? But if music is really like, you would do it regardless of the money that you would make off of it for the love, then you know that you really want that. And you're willing to put in the work that it's gonna take to really want that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so that's how I kind of figured it out. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, 2018 was a vicious year. You know what I'm saying? Went through a lot of trials and tribulations myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, man. That's,
I mean, if you're thinking about it morally and spiritually, it was a good year though, bro.
It was a great year, bro. We learned a lot. We learned a lot.
I mean,
what was the biggest lesson that y'all learned?
Me personally, man, I ain't gonna lie. Procrastination, bro.
I deal with that as well.
Like, procrastination will fuck you up. So, you know, they say the 5 P's, proper preparation prevents pissy performance. Get with it.
Yeah. Okay. That's lit. That's absolutely lit.
For me, I can say, I can piggyback and say procrastination as well. I also learned, man, it's 2018. People are temporary.
Okay.
Straight up temporary.
Straight up, man.
People come and go. Blood come and go. Like,
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? It takes something beyond that DNA connection for you to really stick with somebody. And
yes.
I can honestly say, and this is here. What's today, y'all? What's today? September 29th.
29th? I think it's the 29th.
I'm stamping right here, right now, man. These are my brothers for life. So if you ever catch me saying anything different, then pull back this tape. I'm gonna smack myself.
You better smack his ass.
These my brothers. Y'all can smack me freely. You feel me? This is blood before blood right here. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna help me through a lot. So
that's real. All right, Black Ice Way, like everybody.
Me personally, just like appreciating my worth, because I was one of them type of niggas. I was dealing with so much anger and so much like shit like that. I ain't give a fuck. I was just like, hey man, I just wake up in the morning like, what am I to do next? Type shit. If I get into some fuck shit, I'm in some fuck shit.
So finding the purpose.
Just like finding these my brothers. So like they can keep me like stable and knowing that I have a talent. I'm not just like out here in the streets trying to make sure I survive and do the next nigga grind me so I can survive. So
all right.
That's one of my thing I would focus on. Like, I know I have a worth, and I know I have something going for myself.
Bro.
My man Poetic always tell me, bro, he's like, bro, if you just take shit one day at a time, one step at a time, and just focus, bro, you can do it, bro.
Great,
man. And y'all don't even know like that like a lot of the themes that you're talking about is like, as I started like learning about psychology, especially psychology for men. Like that's very
too, bro.
That's you said what?
I want to major psychology too.
Hey, look, like it's one thing about it that you can't say is that shit boring.
It's interesting.
It ain't boring because they put a lot of research into kind of understanding. Exactly. I couldn't say it better. Understanding people, understanding what are some of the best ways to try to orient your life. You know what I'm saying? And I could say like it's talking about taking that one day at a time. Like that's actually in like you can talk about Friedrich Nietzsche and all these other like big like historic like psychologists. They talk about that because especially when you're going through something, a lot of times there's so much tragedy and suffering in life that you can't even see past the week. You can't see past the day. You sometimes you got to shorten your time frame into something that you can be able to control. So you could just say, all right, in the next minute, man, I'm just going through it. Let me just do some push-ups or something. You know what I'm saying? Let me just shorten your time frame so that you can be able to handle it. And once you conquer that, conquer the next minute, and then conquer the next 30 minutes, and then the next hour. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that positive vibe. And on another note, like as far as men too, and I speak about this being, I'm a little bit, I'm 10 years older than y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not necessarily an OG or anything like that, but like at the same time, I think that like us as men, we have a evolutionary instinct to band together, right? And that's what kind of makes us, that's where we find our purpose together. Like people talk about like wars and tribes and all of that, and there's something deeper than just fighting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's something about banding together with your brothers for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that purpose isn't good. You know what I'm saying? But and sometimes it is good. But one thing about it is it gives us meaning in life. And a lot of times these kids walking around here because nobody, these older dudes, you know what I'm saying? And I dealt with that myself. These older dudes ain't reaching out, right? That's facts. That shit is fucking trash.
OGs
bro.
Ain't teaching young
Dog,
G's
but then you going, and that shit gets me mad because I was having an argument with this older dude on the bus. He's probably like 60, talking about, he was like 70, I don't know how old he was. But he was, you know what I'm saying, he was a veteran talking about like, yeah, y'all ain't doing shit, la da 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 da. He just talking random shit on the bus to these young niggas like, y'all this and that. And I'm like this is like, you talk about these young dudes taking responsibility, right? Why don't you take responsibility for what your generation didn't do? Right?
Not teaching.
But leaving, like you talk about y'all born in the 90s, right? You know what I'm saying? So we could talk about the crack epidemic of the 80s. That really fucked motherfuckers up. And we left these young dudes, you know what I'm saying, out here in the streets to fend for themselves, and then you blame them for falling into the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, because these young dudes, like, they just want somebody to, and even myself, I could even say that, you just want to be able to, somebody to reach out to you and tell you how to go, tell you how the game go. Because life is so fucking complicated. People like to make seem like it's so simple. Like, oh yeah, you just get in a relationship and you don't cheat, and you know what I'm saying. You just work hard and go and get a job and or follow your dreams, and it's just gonna all come to college. No. Like the reality is that like life is tough, and you can do all the right things and still get fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
Life is definitely a bitch.
It is, but the way you could either look at it two ways though. Since life is a bitch, right? So you can either look at it, so life is a bitch, so then what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just do whatever I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just, like, cause that's what happens to a lot of people. They just be like, life is so tragic, it's so fucked up. Fuck this shit. I'm gonna just, get whatever impulsive, immediate pleasure that I can get and just run through it. And that shit's so fucking, it's so detrimental to your overall being that you just go spiral and go down and down. You know what I'm saying? So the way you're supposed to look at life, the way that, the people who are most successful, they look at life and they look at it and understand like, yo, this shit fucked up. But like we men, you know what I'm saying? This is a fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't come on the basketball court and see that all these niggas 6'5" and you know what I'm saying, we about to get our ass whooped, son. All of that, like, you might as well just don't even come. Like, the same thing with life. If life is so fucked up, you might as well just jump off a bridge.
Facts.
You might as well just kill yourself because you're not even equipping yourself with the tools to be able to manage it. So, when you see 6'5" niggas on the court, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get with your men and shit like, all right, so this is what we about to do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, exactly. We about to outwork these dudes and shit. We about to motherfucking, I'm gonna need both of y'all in the box. You know what I'm saying? We gonna let them shoot all the jumpers they want to shoot. You know what I'm saying? But that's funny. That shit is real, man. That shit is real important and shit. Like, so as far as like to kind of get back on the music and shit, like, do y'all have like a mixtape out or anything like that?
Nah, no mixtapes out. We about to be on a shout out to Cash World.
Cash World Records.
We got a mixtape coming out.
We got a mixtape coming out with Cash World. We're gonna be on that mixtape. Shout out Boss Blind. You know what I'm saying? A lot of sneaky moves in the making.
Oh yeah.
You know. Sneaky moves in the making, but as far as a group right now, we don't got no mixtape out. We're really putting together ours right now in the making. Like, just getting out the playlist and the order and just making sure it's what people would like to hear and the variety of stuff.
It's a system to this whole situation.
Oh man, it really is, no doubt about it.
We do got songs on YouTube and
a lot of
songs on SoundCloud though. Motherfucking follow our SoundCloud at Humpway.
YouTube at Humpway. Instagram, we're gonna switch it up for y'all at Humpway. Yeah. Dropping the motherfucking live.
Also, we got 2 Spinrilla accounts.
Appreciate you, bro.
One just Humpway, the other one Humpway, Bumpway.
All that.
On Spinrilla.
Good stuff.
All right, so you got 2 Spinrilla accounts.
2 Spinrilla accounts.
Why?
Just to maximize.
Maximize? Oh, okay. Nah, that makes sense though. That actually makes sense.
Instead of trying to grab one, like whole audience to one channel. 2.
Right. Just kind you putting, you know what I'm saying? You're shooting as many shots as you can. You know what I'm saying? No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, man, y'all
putting our eggs into different baskets.
You got to. You know, for me, like, man, it's so once I first really started this shit, it was like, all right, so first thing was kind of reaching out to people, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Banner. I probably shout this man out every goddamn episode, but shout out to Banner, man. You know, he's a Vine legend, you know, Instagram comedian, stand-up comedian and shit. And, you know, I ain't really know him off the top, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I reached out to him and he showed me love, and he seen, like, number one, before I even started this shit, like, when I came through, I knew wasn't nobody gonna respect what I was doing if I just came through and shit. And I was like, all right, well, we just gonna talk on my phone and we gonna sit in my living room. And niggas gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I had to
man cave like shit.
Exactly. So I did the research and I did the research on, you know, what I had to go big with, and you know, I fucked around. Like I always kind of kept my credit together. You know what I'm saying? And let that be a lesson though, for real, because
Facts.
when you take care, when you set yourself up in the best way that you can, especially when it comes to your money, you know what I'm saying? Like, not saying you got to be rich, but just, you know what I'm saying, just pay off the bills, call them up, don't ignore these creditors, you know what I'm saying? Call them up, tell them what's going on, so that your bread could be together. Like, you would be surprised. People think that, like, everything is against them, but what they don't understand is that a lot of times they be making moves that they fucking their own self over. I'm gonna tell you like this, and shout out to Navy Federal, like, off the top. Like, I was trying to get
shout out Navy Federal gang.
Yeah, shout out Navy
Hopefully, we need some sponsorships over here. I keep talking about y'all niggas, but you know, like, man, straight up, like, you know, I was trying to get a business loan and shit, and so I was applying for grants, and there are a lot of grants out here that, you know, you could get, especially when you starting up a business, even with, you know, rap, like, whatever the case may be. Right, so, like, you know, I was waiting on those, but those joints kind of take a while to get in, and, you know, so I was like, damn, and then when they actually gave me the money, it really was some short shit. So I was like, all right, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I about to do? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, if you really serious about it, I was thinking about late at night, like, I fucking stayed up that whole night, because I was just sitting up here thinking about, like, what am I about to do? What am I about to do? Am I going to take a chance? Fuck it. Like for whatever chance, like, you buy a car, that's $20,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do whatever, you know what I'm saying? You so willing to spend money on everything else that don't help you. You might as well jump out the box for something that you really believe in. Right. So I was like, fuck it. I fuck with Navy Federal off the top, and them niggas, man, don't be out here cashing these checks in Navy Federal, bro, because they out here, they looking out. Niggas put 15 G's in the bank account same day. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's off the top. You know what I'm saying? 15 in the bank off the top. And as soon as I did that, I was like, all right, well, let me stop playing games then. You know what I'm saying? And I started, like, researching and, you know, use YouTube. It's like, use the internet for what it's really for. There's a lot of good information on there.
Great information.
Like on some real shit. Like,
web.
That's a fact. Like,
nigga, that's why they got a search engine.
That's a fact, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you're going to get a lot of different, it's going to be confusing because it's going to be a lot of different opinions. But, you know, when it comes to, go to credible sources. Don't just look at what somebody said. You know what I'm saying? Go to actual companies and people that have done the research on things that you're trying to do, and shit. And so you can learn what you need to jump it out. Yep, that's a fact. And then also, one of the biggest things too, like, and y'all gonna see this because y'all are very good networkers. I'll just say off the buck, you know, be able to listen to people that have done this and you don't know shit about it. Like, I was over here working with GarageBand, like, because I was just like, you know, the internet said it would be cool and shit like that, but I had a lot of issues when I first started out with the whole shit. And my man Glenn, who's a producer, big guy in the audio engineering and things of that nature, he was like, hey, look, I'm just let you know off the top, man, look, this laptop not gonna work. This, you know what I'm saying, this GarageBand and shit like that ain't gonna work. None of that shit that ain't gonna get you where you trying to go. He's like, stop bullshitting, go grab you the iMac, grab you the new joint, go get Logic, you know what I'm saying, get Logic or get Pro Tools, one or the other. But if you get Logic, I'll show you how to use it. So I was like, well, shit, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you want to edit videos? He's like, you want to edit videos? Don't just go all up in. He's like, you could just get iMovie when you bullshit and be like, fuck it, go ahead and get Final Cut Pro. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get, like, you know what I'm saying, once you got the money, get the shit that you will be able to kind of grow and learn how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm borderline like vicious with this shit at this point. You know what I'm saying? But it was long hours, like especially with the video, bro.
Right.
I fucked up on that shit so many times. I'm sitting up there fucking with the same fucking 20 minutes of the goddamn video that I'm trying to fix and shit, like for like 2 days and shit, like fucking up the memory on my computer and shit. It was just a whole big wild struggle. But at this point, man, I'm about to start shooting videos. You know what I'm saying? Because as you work, you know what I'm saying? Like,
let us know when you start shooting them videos, man.
Will be appearing.
Tempo TV.
Right. You know, so you know, I you got to put that work in. You know what I'm saying? So and I see that y'all all about that shit. And so yeah, man, I want to thank y'all for coming through. Before we get out of here, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and put on a beat real quick so these dudes can get themselves together.
Gang.
Either run a beat or run some Humpway. Run some Humpway.
Play that hottest, man. Play that charged up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Can y'all send it to me in the Can y'all send it to y'all anybody got iPhones?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. You can what's the name? AirDrop that
to you.
Could you pass me that?
Yeah. Man, there's one thing I want y'all to remember, man. Life is one take. No director yelling cut.
Thank you.
You never can go back and fix the stuff that you messed up. Only thing that you can do is learn to step up and prepare yourself for whatever is next up. Remember that. Like my man was saying.
These dudes got they ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely airdrop that joint, man. We about to get these dudes the fuck started. You know what I'm saying?
We already had some Quavo in this, man. We
Squirt.
You know what I'm saying? Nice young,
look,
nice young lady. Let us hit the J a couple of times. You feel me?
Hey, look, I ain't get that to you. I don't know where you got that
Nah,
shit.
you ain't. I don't know. I ain't.
They walked in with the
I just
jump.
got that shit. No face, no case.
Sneaky.
How the fuck everybody know that shit? Everybody starts saying shit at the same time. Monte in the back doing the same shit.
It's just the code, 10 toes. You hear me? No funnies.
Don't you say
That
it's
shit.
down
You see the
bad?
joint?
You know.
Go to the iMac joint.
Go to the iMac. It's gonna pop up at the iMac.
Yeah, it's gonna
Do
pop
that
up.
real shit,
It's gonna
y'all.
pop up at
Timothy's
the
iMac.
Show the DMV what y'all about, man.
Oh man.
Gang.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Man, it's crazy how life can hit you.
Oh.
Everything will be all good, but
Then
then
it
it start to
start to-
switch up. If I was my life, it ain't hard to paint the picture. It'll be a dark room, a light in the center. It felt like life closing in on me, but still I got the will to be stronger than the enemy.
Yeah.
The devil trying to finish me, but he would never
Get to me.
I just got to strive for it. Man, I got a kid to feed, a family that
that
depend on me.
getting judged by my skin.
While life is trying to sentence me. Don't let the bullshit
Ever.
ever get to me.
Gang.
Gotta keep on moving.
Oh.
Gang. Hey.
We charged up.
Charged up.
Make sure y'all talking to mics when y'all get it up.
Oh. Listen to the bars, man. 'Cause
I need a charger.
I need a charge.
I need a charger.
I need a charge.
So roll me that gas up.
Roll me the gas.
And plug in the charger. She wanna fuck right now. I got a charger.
Zoom real fast. Just like a charger.
Hey.
It's J to the A to the B to the A to the R to the E, aka the magnificent being. Almighty rap bar got king. Forgot to mention beat dismembering. All time beat killing machine.
Alice and Green on the focus on brain.
Take a shot of caffeine. Come bump with the hump if you know what
Hey, you
I
know.
mean. Yeah, I blood red. Think I need somebody.
Gang.
She dripping wet
Ooh.
black, die like my rain.
moist.
So serious, no you a vaccine. We really conveying.
Gas on smoke.
Come for the pains.
I slang on attack.
You know.
I feel like a submarine.
I switch the floor with ease.
Hey, you know
Always
it.
chasing that cheese.
Yeah.
It's an infectious disease.
Leaving Robert deceased.
Somebody get them a priest. I need my money increased. Jeez. Feel like I'm unstoppable. You niggas are comical. Better than me, and that's impossible.
Spit tunes in my chronicle.
Where could it be this? Swear diabolical. I swear I'm for
I need a charge up. I need a charge up. So roll me that gas up.
good gas.
Plug in the charger. She wanna fuck right now.
She do, she do.
I got a charger.
Zoom real fast.
You know.
Just like a charger. Bitch.
Gang.
Black guys working all night to the season. Slip on ice, not built for the season. Hop in the charger is built for the season. Only one section is built for the weekend. Fuck that jet, then I hop in the charger. When I was young, almost called me a charger. Now I'm Hey, tell him, bro.
Try to the max, but I really control it.
Gang, nigga. And you know, niggas be faking, start calling that dollar. Load up my box and just aim at your hot spot. Fuck on your thigh, cause I heard she a hot spot. Ice in the streets, black ice never slipping. Pussy real wet, I might get up and slipping. Pull up my glove for some extra protection. when that pussy get the wet and just fuck up your mental. I might turn to a statue when my diamonds be shining. Pass on the beat, cause my man need to eat. Black ice, he got full on the beat. Again and again, again and again, again and again. I need a charger. I need a charger. So roll me that good game. Plug in the charger. She wanna fuck right now. Shit, I got a charger. Zoom, zoom, real fast. Just like a charger. Put where they gon' charge her. Call me the spark plug, hop on the charger. Came fully automated with a push starter. Pedal to the metal, hit the gas, spin a rubber. Dirty lethal weapon, gotta keep it daddy clever. Blowing on talk, came straight out the muffler. Shotty got matters, but I'm trying to hit her bumper. She want me to love her, but I cannot cover cause fuck these bitches. Damn! On the road to riches, counting up bands that don't counterfeiting. That's right, everything authentic. Got the products on my feet, I'm designer skipping. Cannon on my hip, but nah, little nigga, I ain't power tripping. Oh no, I can't be slipping. Grip too straight, I my head on. Tick tock, I'm a hanky spinning. That rolling in my wrist so the top can glisten. Right now, the blues really got me crippin'. But that into my blood, I just got the rhythm. One room, you can see me whipping. Dodgers do lag in the streets on this shit. I'ma pull up if you need that shit. Don't text me, just hit my trap, get in the feds in my line, I'ma tell them catfish. Roll up a blunt, call up a we'll be going right back in traffic. Hey, we'll be going right back in traffic. And you know it. And you know it. Fuck is you saying? Cause I need a charger. I need a charger. So roll me that gas up. And plug in the charger. And she wanna fuck right now. Shit, I got a charger. Zoom, zoom real fast. Just like a charger.
Bitch, you hear me? Gang shit.
Man, I don't even think I have to say anything after that, man. These dudes, man, these dudes right here are amazing, man. Thank y'all for coming through.
Man, thank you for having me out here, bro.
Go ahead and let everybody know where they can find y'all at individually and as a group.
All right, look, you can follow me on IG. I'm gonna break it down for y'all because it's kind of a little bit complicated, but not though. Selfie God, all right. The E is a 3. And the O.
I'm gonna put your signature right here. I'm gonna put your signature right here. I got you. You gonna be able to see it. They gonna be able to see it.
Man, keep it simple, man. Follow me on IG at Black Ice 2.0, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Black Ice 2.0, you know what I'm saying?
Poetic with an X, not a C. That music with an X,
not a C.
not a C.
You already
feel
know.
me?
All right.
Just follow us on IG at
Bumpway.
BUMPWAY. And everything else is Humpway. You already know.
Whole lot of gang shit, nigga.
I mean, it's gonna be hard for y'all to see the energy and see that performance and not want to follow these guys. So appreciate y'all for coming through, man. This is another episode of the Tempo Show. DMV Speak. Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead.
Remember, if you ain't humping,
you ain't nothing, bitch.
Man, we out.